Welcome to Milesh and Sadie Property Talks, smart investments, beautiful spaces.
Hello and welcome to our very first episode. We're going to share with you today a little bit about us, why we're here, what we're doing and what's coming up. So we're going to start with a bit about ourselves. So Sadie, let's start with you. Give us a little bit of a backstory, and I am going to ask you those questions, so be prepared.
Great. Backstory. So I started with my husband as like sort of, I always say serial renovator, but it makes me sound like a serial killer. It's not, but we literally would like buy really bad properties, do them up, flip them, and then move on to the next.
So were you living in these properties as you bought them?
And it was hell on earth. Well, the early ones were bad just because they were smaller, so there was kind of like, less space to escape. But the later ones, we had the kids. So we literally lived in a log cabin for a year while we did up our last one. We had a ladder to go up to like the bedrooms. Wow. It was really rough. But I think from our early ones, we just understood if you get the business side of buying the property right and then you get the renovation right, it just scales you up. I mean, we literally managed to sort of leap up that property ladder fairly fast. And I fell in love with the business and the design together. And from there we got to our latest house and I was sort of like ready to go again, and Chris, my husband, was like, I'm not doing this anymore, like I'm exhausted. To be fair, he was doing a lot of digging, so literally he was like, if you want to carry on, you need to find yourself another husband. And I was like, that's a bit harsh and it's going to be really hard to find someone who can dig. So I was like, fine, I will start up my own business. And that's when I started up,
So give me an idea of the types of, the extent of the work you've done.
Oh my God. So one of the worst ones was we bought this place in Richmond, and it literally, we were so naive. I think we were like mid-20s and we were like, how hard can it be? Well, it had subsidence, it had unsupported chimney stacks, the whole of the outside was bowing out.
Wow.
And
did you know all this?
We knew some of it, and the rest we were a bit like, how, we'll learn it as we go. We actually thought that we would bring in a massive construction team. And I was like, we'll bring in like an architect and a construction team and we'll just kind of like waltz around. But we couldn't extend our mortgage because we were both self-employed actors, and then surprisingly they said no. And so we were actually then stuck with having to do it ourselves, which was when I started to learn. I learned CAD, I learned how to project manage, I learned how to spreadsheet and how to do a full bill of quantities for everything. And I guess it was a kind of great opportunity.
So through lack of choice and finances, you've managed to craft a career.
Yes.
Exactly in that.
Exactly. And that property, we ended up, when we sold it, we tripled it in value. And it was that moment where I realised I wanted to do it as a business, because I had created like all the layouts and the lighting design and chosen all the selections, and it was very different from anything that was out there. And actually, when we sold it in 2 days, the feedback was, wow, this is really special. We've not seen a property like that. This feels so much bigger, even though we'd actually only extended a small amount. And it was that realisation that when you get the two right, when you get the property and the business side right with the design, it's just through the roof.
So the digging paid off? The
digging paid off, and I tell him this every day. So then I created Sadie Pizzey Interiors, and we do work with homeowners and commercial clients and developers, but we do specialise in renovation and construction projects because of my background and because personally I love a building site and I love the dust. But I have the knowledge, I am very hands-on, I really understand construction, and that pays off in how we now run our business.
So how long have you been going?
6 years. Okay. Yeah. So which is amazing.
Unprompted question.
Yeah.
Give me your best project you've worked on to date.
Okay.
And the not so.
Oh, the not so. Oh my gosh.
You choose which goes first.
The best ones, I think most people say it's your latest ones, because you're always getting better, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
We had a great one in Notting Hill, which we literally finished a year ago, which we've just been made a finalist for an award.
Amazing.
And then we've also just done a really amazing Art Deco 7-bedroom house, which is stunning. Wow. I'm really proud of that. So I can't wait to sort of put that out there. We're photographing it coming up. But we've had some really great commercial projects as well, which I really enjoy. So it's really lovely kind of working with all the different demographics. And luckily for Chris, he doesn't have to dig anymore. So it's win-win.
You're not dodging the not so great. Go on.
Oh yes, they're not so great. Oh my gosh. The not so great, it's probably like, I can't think of a specific project, but I would just say the early on projects, because
they're your first.
Yeah,
or second,
and
right?
because even though design wise you know what you're doing, you haven't quite got the business side down.
Yeah.
And actually now we have this really in-depth 10-step process, which means that we are completely in control of our projects. So the timelines are just cemented, the budgets are firm, and our clients love it because they know that we are taking control.
Yeah.
But that took, a good few years to formulate. So it just didn't have that feeling of control and ease that it does now.
So I was going to say, what if you had started again today? What
Yeah.
would you do differently? I guess you've answered that in
Yeah.
having the right structure, the business mindset in place
100%.
to make sure that it's a smooth process, not only for yourself,
Yeah.
but you can demonstrate that to your clients as well.
Definitely. And it seems weird because when you speak to sort of people who want to go into interior design, they're like, but it's because I'm creative, I want to do all this beautiful design work. But actually the business side, the process side is what makes you a success.
Yeah.
You have to get it down.
And that's in that's in whatever you do.
Yeah, it is.
Really.
It really
There is that business angle, and lots of people want to stay in their skill that they love and that is their passion.
Yeah.
So you've got a decision, right?
Yeah.
You either leverage out the business side
Yeah.
to trusted people, or you have to take it on board to start with until you're in a position where you can start leveraging.
I
that's what you
think
wanna
you
do.
have to, as any owner of a company, be in the business side to start with. You have
Yeah.
to have a good understanding of it.
Yeah, top level understanding is
Yeah.
critical.
Definitely.
Then you can choose if you don't like it, then don't do it.
Yeah.
But make sure you've got someone who's better than you that can.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, that's my journey. What about you, Milesh?
So mine started 2001. I bought my first buy-to-let investment, and
Where was that?
that was in Surrey, in
Okay.
Camberley. And basically within 3 years, we pulled out some money to help my brother buy a place in Wembley that he was going to uni for.
Yeah.
I then sold it and then bought a new build in Fleet.
Okay.
So that all happened in between 2001 and 2005.
Yeah. And were you still employed at that point?
Yeah,
Right.
I was just starting my career and building it in financial services.
Okay.
And then kind of work got in the way, life got in the way. Property was cool because I was, not doing that much apart from at the start.
Yeah.
And then money was just rolling in, so it was
Yeah.
great. And I thought I must carry on with that, and then I didn't.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until 2013 when I felt quite ill that I came out of it. Luckily, in 2015, decided, you know what, I do like this property thing, and maybe I can craft a career out of it. So I
Okay.
got myself educated, remortgaged my house, and thought,
That's brave.
let's give it a go.
Remortgaging your house is a brave step.
Yeah. So I put a plan in place early 2015 that by end of 2016 I'd had my notice in at work, and in that time I need to have enough income to be able to do that, with a view to leaving in Q1 2017. What actually happened was the company I was working for got chopped up and sold off, and I left in October 16 and got redundancy on the way out. So universe, stars were aligning.
Yeah. That was a
And it was the
lucky,
right
lucky
thing
moment.
to do. But in that time, 14 months, we bought 4 properties that we converted to HMO, or in the process of converting to HMOs, which enabled me to leave the job.
Yeah.
And then I went full time in October 2016.
And what did that feel like?
Scary.
Yeah.
Do you know one thing that really kind of, I still get a little bit, is that guilt, because you kind of leave full-time work to have more time and flexibility and freedom, which was my core kind of values, and time with family. But when I left work, I was sat in the smallest room of my house, feeling guilty that I wasn't in front of the laptop for 8 hours a day.
Yeah, it's funny.
And then you're like, well, hold on, I've done this for that reason.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of a mindset shift, and then there's a social element as well, where you have to create your own social time and circles and stuff like that. But work-wise, it was great. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Then it got to a point where the plan was to get me out of the job, and then my wife out of the job, which happened in 2022. By that time, we'd had enough experience, had enough income to support that, and then lockdown happened. So we'd just done a commercial conversion from an office to a 20-bed HMO,
Okay.
which was an experience in itself.
Yeah.
And lockdown happened, meaning that we couldn't go out and buy more. Not first, personally anyway. So we worked with sourcing agents and bought 4 buy-to-lets in County Durham. And then 2023, a couple of years ago, is when we took the decision that actually for income we're kind of done now.
Yeah.
So we're not going to buy, renovate, and hold. We're now going to look to get big pots of cash.
Okay.
Which is why we then moved down south to where we are. And yeah, looked for and got some planning gain opportunities, adding on 1 or 2 houses through planning.
Yeah.
And then selling them on. Yeah, so that's...
And what's your favourite bit about your business now?
The strategy side, the negotiation bit, recently sat on Property Edge. Those are the bits that I love.
Yeah.
And up until a couple of years ago, I kind of felt guilty for not enjoying the build element of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think experience, confidence kind of changes and enables you to go, do you know what, I love this and I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Rather than feeling like I should be doing or loving the whole process.
Yeah, yeah.
And so naturally, that's where I've kind of leaned towards over the last 12 months.
Yeah.
And it's good, it's exciting.
Yeah, and so Property Edge is actually how we met.
Yes.
Pretty much almost a year ago. It's like our 1-year anniversary.
It will be.
And I came to like the first one just by luck. A friend of ours said, "Oh, you should check this out," and I came and just loved it. I mean, I am not a massive lover of a networking event, but what I would say about Property Edge is it's so warm. Everybody is so welcoming, but also the knowledge that Milesh shares, and then you get obviously lots of speakers in, is incredible.
That's interesting. You say about not a big lover of networking.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit more about that.
I think because so many networking groups are just really quite stiff and forced. You're meant to go in, it's quite formulaic. Everybody is there to really push their business. And it's either it's just like a free-for-all, or it's that you're meant to stand up and say bits about your business, which I hate.
I could tell you might love that.
I really do not. But what I love about Property Edge is it's kind of a lovely combo of both. You walk in, there is a bit of you trying to sell your own business, but everybody's actually just genuinely happy to see each other and they want to hear about what everyone's been up to. And then it's broken up in the middle by this amazing talk. Yeah, the last one was by me, so that was epic.
I thought you were my bit.
No, mine was,
Okay.
I think that was one of the biggest crowds we've got, I'm just saying.
Thank you.
But it's always someone that's really informative and you learn loads, and so that's what I love about it.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
No, thank you. And do you know what? I always say, if anyone's seen my social media, I'll always bang on about relationship first,
Yes.
business second,
Yeah.
and then it's business first, property second. So that's really comforting to hear.
Yeah.
Cool. Keep
Yeah.
coming to more.
I will.
Bring everyone else.
100%. But that's not why people are tuning in. Why are we doing this today? Why did we decide we were going to do this podcast?
So I think for me, as you know, my background is very much, and over the last couple of years, I think I've probably learnt that my strength is in the strategic side, the negotiation side, the planning side, and the finance side. And I love that, and I could do that all day long. But that really is kind of part of the picture, which is why I think with your influence and this collaboration, you bring the whole design element. So when it goes on site,
Yeah.
that's the bit that normally I'm
You're
not
less
in love with.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So I think this works perfectly.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, within my business, we are very process driven and we do have a lot of strategies. But you're right, I am obsessed with buildings and property. So I cannot walk by a building without literally doing like a full 360 on it. I mean, honestly, I have like walked into things looking at buildings.
I bet your kids love that.
They really do. But the business side of it, I have had some involvement because we've obviously flipped properties and I've always been really focused. But I find it really fascinating. So I love how the two come together. You are really knowledgeable on all the business side of property. And I think when it's teamed with the design side and actually getting that right, I think the results can be...
Yeah, and I think for people listening and the people that will listen, there is loads of value to be had because we've got two different perspectives in the same industry talking, and we'll talk about various things along the way.
Definitely.
And look to bring people in as well. So yeah, stay tuned.
100%. So what are we going to be covering?
So we've got a little mini series. The next one is more about the myths. You and I have both talked about this, presented about this separately and together. Interior design, getting into property are two huge subjects. And there are lots and lots of different thoughts, considerations, fears that people have as to why they're not getting into it or not getting more involved. So I think let's look to dispel some of those myths on both those sides.
100%. I think it drives us both mad that people they don't have the knowledge, and that's just because it's not out there. So I think that's what we're here to do. We're here to give people the knowledge to move forward. So we're going to be covering that. We're also going to be covering, I guess, some top tips. So that's going to come later in the series, but from both our separate angles. And what does it actually look like? What do our businesses look like on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, things to look out for, things to watch out for. I think business first, property second is something we're going to focus on, and just really understanding that, because certainly from a property perspective, I'm seeing loads of people buying deal after deal after deal, which is great, but what's the plan? Like, get that business, because when you buy a property, you are buying into a business.
Yeah.
So if you can get that business held at the start and then start investing in accordance with your business plan, that stands you in much better stead going forward.
Yeah. And even if you're not just a developer, even if you're buying your homes and you want to sort of move up the property ladder, actually having your business head on when you're renovating property is essential. It's the only way you're going to steadily move up that ladder.
Yeah.
So we're here for everybody on that side of things.
It's balancing that head over heart, isn't it?
Definitely.
And you can go the wrong way on both sides.
Yeah, and I think we will.
Which we're guilty of.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So cool. Hopefully that gives you a flavour of what we're about, what we're going to be sharing over the coming weeks, and a nice little intro. So thanks for joining, and look forward to seeing you at the next one.